so distressed, and they got a feeling of emptiness. And I don't think that I can take this anymore. No, no, no. My friends they're so disturbed, and they got a feeling, and it's so unheard of. And I don't think that I can take this anymore. No, no, no. Knock down, take a look around. We're all here stuck in the middle, and I want to see you well, my friends. Knock down, take a look around. We're all here stuck in the middle, and let's all stand together, friends, as we go, as we go, as we go into the flow we go, into the flow we go, into the flow we go, into the flow we go.
Hey, hold on. Happy Monday, gang. It's the crew. It's Deeds. It's Goo. It's Window Cleaner of the Year, WCOTY 2025, Mr. Craig Hendzel from Lakewood. Window
Hello. Excited to have you, Craig. You're the Window Cleaner of the Year, buddy.
Happy Monday.
Can you see
2025.
that? They got my Gucci bunny on there.
Oh, I love it.
And they got the Gucci on my belt.
Look at them shine.
Yeah. I got a special place. We're trying to get that incorporated into the museum. You had asked me, Goo, a question. Am I in the Trocadero Lounge right now? No, this is actually the office. That's my big giant desk. You know what? To give you an idea, that light bulb's going to fall. I don't have a big enough desk. It's almost 3 feet across that way, and the width about 5 feet.
Nice.
Big old sturdy desk, but no, this is a platform for the museum, and every part of my house has become part of the museum.
Pretty much. It encapsulates everything, but that's who you are, Craig. You are the epitome of window cleaning. You're awesome. If you're talking about window cleaning, you're talking about Craig Hendzel. And now that you're the Window Cleaner of the Year, all the stars have aligned and come together. That museum you've got is top of the line, amazing. I'm super excited to see what that looks like this year again, coming up at the IWCA event. And that's awesome.
Deeds, you know who's awesome, don't you?
Yes.
On 3, 2, 1. My wife.
And your wife. Your wife. Oh my gosh, your wife. Our wives are what keeps us together. Okay.
The patience she has for this, but now I don't know about anybody else now I can't see who's watching.
I can tell you real quick. So Grace just popped in. Squeegee Tom is in the building. Damien's here. Let's see. Chuck D is in the house.
Thomas. Squeegee Tom's in here.
Adam Hogan. And I think Jessica Battle. I thought I saw. Nope. That's who's here right now so far.
Yeah, big Dubois to everybody who's tuning in. I can't see it. I suck at these computers. I can only see you three, the three of us, the two of you and me. But no, I can't. I don't know how to do all that. Grace usually does that all for me. But the museum is going to get it morphs. I don't know. I've got panels set up. We try different things. It will probably become more gallery-like at a point. I mean, you guys saw, I don't have the mannequin in the shot, but we're dressing up mannequins to period window cleaning. So you can actually see the clothing, the tools, going all the way back, adding different pieces of like down here, up here, there's some over here, maybe off the viewer screen, some more art type of approach, like an art museum approach, taking graphic art and some of the stuff. Like I get so wacky with designs. I think you were mentioning wondering what shirt I'm wearing today. I'm probably the man of 1,000 window cleaning shirts that I have made. This is anybody that knows this. This is Ryan Nelson, Ryan No Gloves Nelson right there.
Nice.
And it's a baby photo when he was younger, and when he was younger, he had the Window Doctor PhD in Jersey, Squeegee Life all over his bucket.
Hmm.
And I'm like, dude, and he was wearing a WCR hat right almost the minute he came out.
Yep,
I mean,
it's a fact.
that is a pretty much fact. But that's Ryan No Gloves Nelson. I don't even know what, to be honest, all jokes aside, I don't know if he's still window cleaning. He was more of one of the, I don't know. He was for a while. I haven't seen him in a while, but he'll show up, I'm sure, at some point. I should tag him in this. But
What's his name? Sorry,
Ryan Nelson.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Mr. Nielsen.
He should change his name to Ryan No Gloves Nelson. That's something I don't wear gloves really that much. I sometimes, if we get down to minus 15, you got to start putting those. I put neoprene gloves on, just real thin neoprene, keep
Hmm.
the hands dry and keep the wind off of them. But it's more so that when they get wet, they don't stick to when they freeze like the snowblower, the shovel, when they get wet.
Yep.
So I'm dusting off the car with my hands and the truck and everything, and then my hands get wet. And then it's wind, Buffalo. It's that
Buffalo.
Arctic sub-zero wind chill that just freezes
Heavy,
everything.
heavy, wet ass snow that slushes and just is a heavy as hell
Hey,
too.
speaking of Northeast and cold weather, our pal Sean Hart just jumped in the room. I guess you got a chance to spend some time with Sean last week, huh?
Hmm.
I called him on Friday and he told me all about it. What a great time he had, what a wonderful host you were, and how much fun he had. So
Oh,
I can't even imagine the day that was. One of the things that you commented on after, 24 hours after you probably had a chance to take a deep breath was um, one of the things that you were most happy about was the amount of time that you got to spend with Chris, TJ, and Sean. I know
yes.
how important time is to all of us, but getting an opportunity to spend the day with those three cats, tell us about that. What was that like?
I should start off by saying that anybody watching now or listening later, I have got to tell everybody I'm not a cellular user. My internet interaction is right here on this desk, on this computer. Um, Grace has a cellular in the business. I run the business the old way. And actually, I'll digress a little bit. Grace is learning from me. She's going to be transitioning. She's certified in QuickBooks Online from
Yeah.
Tri-C Community College. She has a basic business degree from Cleveland State University. She's
Awesome.
gone through all of that stuff. She runs our business with all of the internet and this cellular device. And I'm that constant reminder that, yeah, you're going to learn to do it the old way. You know, nothing better than file cards.
Yeah.
Color coded file cards right here on my desk, right next to me, And when your phones, your computers, they go down, you know what? I got everything in alphabetical order and I rotate them. We do a job, we pull it to the front. The
Hmm.
next job we do, pull it to the front. And if now Grace, she has to go through, I don't know, the CRMs and all of that stuff. She's looking for, customers. And I'm like, just who are you looking for? And what information do you need? It takes her forever to get me information from that QuickBooks or any of those places. I can keep it in my free Yahoo calendar and all that, but I just pull the card out right here up front and I know who we did. I know the next one back. We did that one before that. I know the last one in line. We haven't done you for a long time. You're the last one in line.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's a
mean?
smart way to do it. Yeah.
But
It's your own Dewey Decimal System and in your refresh.
well,
Do
it's the way our
we?
family's been doing it for 3 generations. Well, four now with Grace, but she's in addition to, I don't hold her back and I don't hold the new ways
Yeah.
back. We do both. We actually do both. I actually suggest I don't care if you're a solo owner operator or if you've got employees, I don't care how big or how small you are, have that backup on paper. File cards. We've got all the customer information. We've got window count by floor. We count that basement, we count that first, second, and third floor. We count the garage. It's all separated on the card, so we know what we're up against. And we do a lot of a la carting, and we do biweekly residential. So when they want to get a price based on certain windows, all I got to do is look at my card. I know exactly. All I got to do is go walk the house once. Every single house I've ever done, it's all up here.
Yep.
It's all up
Right here.
here. And,
Keep it in
and
the know.
how do you get it on paper? I did. It's already. I didn't have to figure out how to get it on paper. We just put it on the file cards, alphabetize them, put them in here. It's close the drawer, and my house would have to catch on fire. But how easy is for that to happen? But I've had computers go right and left, the internet service down, our wires pulled down. We had nothing to feed off of to run our business as far as the internet goes, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
bringing that full circle, I'm that kind of old-fashioned guy. I like interacting with people in person. You guys met me at the
Yeah.
huge, different capacities and different circumstances, but even for the shortest or the longest period of time, those in-person interactions are the greatest moments to me because that's the time is very valuable to me, and the
Yeah.
time we spend on here, I was talking to Hunter, my son-in-law, last night. How much time they spend looking at podcasts or looking up this, looking up that. I'm like, if you ever actually just eliminated of, let's say you've got 100% of that time you spend on the internet, if you eliminated 75% of that, because I can guarantee if you audit your time on the internet, most of it's garbage. But if
Sure.
you just take that 75%, go to the library and really look something up, really study something, and really understand something useful, taking time. But, it's weird because we take the time studying, we go to these conventions, and that's where we all run into each other, and
Yep.
we get that time, and it's so precious. It's such a little time, but you guys get the idea of that convention. It goes by so fast, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It sure
Now,
does.
fast forward to from the conventions to now, a couple weeks ago now, whatever it was. Gosh, it's a blur.
Yeah.
Um, these guys set up this elaborate hoax, this plan. I was so excited. I was even in the garage building, I'm working on a heated zero water-fed cart storage. So we've got the freeze came in, and I've got these jobs. I'm all over everything, the jobs, how much they are, what time, everything. And I'm all set up. And the night before, I'm in working on my heated storage so my system could run. And I'm testing my Max all winter. Can I keep it heated, using it at least once or twice a week when the weather goes above or close enough to that point that I can get it running?
Yeah.
Um, I'm in there working on that, and I'm enjoying my day, and I'm excited. The next day comes and Grace is here. As usual, we're working on things, and I'll go get Angelo's pizza done. Okay, it's a weekly job we do right up the street. And she goes and does that, and she sends me a message. Well, the job canceled for the day. TJ on the other side of the messaging is like, hey, dude, if you guys ever, he had been doing this for like 2 or 3 days, something like that. I don't know. Grace fills me in on all that. They had set up where he was trying to distract me and say, hey, he wanted to come and get footage for the window cleaner of the year. So, because we've been doing the videos at the end of their segment,
Yeah.
their show, our little segment at the end. And he had me going. And I actually messaged him and said, listen, I've got the day off, our job canceled. I'm going to go up and start getting set up, pull costumes out. If you can make it today, come on over. And I'm literally in my pajamas still. And then I'm setting stuff up and I'm like, man, we're going to do this. This will be great. Because for a long time, I've just always wanted to shoot stuff with TJ.
Yeah.
He's, the two guys, him and Sean Hart, you go back full circle, him and Sean Hart, those guys, you talk about how I just was so in shock when I walked. Grace, she said there's a package at the door. She came back. She's like, there's a package at the door. You got to come down and sign for it. And with the museum, I don't know what's going on. So I get dressed. I come downstairs, and these guys just pop out of the dining room. I'm like, you saw the video,
Yeah,
Yeah.
surprise.
and but we got to spend a couple hours. It was the best couple of hours a person could ever have in the window cleaning community.
Sure.
Those are some heavy hitters. They're just great guys. We got to hang out up in the Trocadero Lounge. We had pizza. We went down to the shop. You saw, I don't know. I'm still reeling as I watch the videos, and I'm like, I'm like, it takes me to that moment. So I don't know that I've actually been able to watch a video that TJ or Sean did all the way through without daydreaming about that moment.
Yep.
But I missed some opportunities. And Chris, Sean, TJ, it would have been great if you guys would have just slipped up. Grace, if you would have slipped up just a little bit. And if I would have known, I would have turned on, I would have been like, dudes, we're playing. So I got 777 slot machine.
Slot
I'm
machines,
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
let's get a pull on that. Let's play some Dig Dug and Pac-Man for a couple minutes, just a round each, you know, get a little bit of that kind of, the things that I used to do when I was a kid, when we were friends, we always hung out. The pizza was great because we talked about a pizza party on here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That was great. Going over all the window cleaning stuff was awesome. But I'm like, man, we could have played, Kiss the board game, or Star Trek board game or something like that, and just had some
Spaceballs, the board
fun.
game.
You know what I mean? And then they could have got some great footage of us having that kind of fun and shared. And to me, that I don't know if I could encourage anybody the if you can meet up with people, the friends that you've made on the internet. We've met, my wife and I have gone and met
My
up with
wife.
people that not related to window cleaning. She had friends from a game called Mafia Wars, whatever that was,
Yeah.
um, and Mobsters, something like that. There's games
Yeah,
that
I
you
don't know no
played.
mobsters.
But these people, that's a funny one, just to encourage folks to get out there and meet up with new people. We drove down to their place in Shirley, Indiana, and Denny, he recently passed on. He's an older guy, but he passed on, was in ill health, and all the energy to his wife and family right now. But yeah, we went down to visit them, and that is when I then went over to Jefferson City, Missouri to visit Lewis Hay.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
So we kind of, it's not just a me thing, it's a family thing. The amount of people that I've met in person that I wouldn't have, just again, going to the convention, how many people we got to meet that we've only ever seen online.
Yeah.
How many people get to do that?
So
You
you
know?
got some of the biggest hitters in our industry. One of the biggest in Chris, two of the biggest when it comes to content, and also two of the best when it comes to just personalities in our industry at your house. I mean, that day must have been, I don't, I was texting with Grace this morning. Um, and I told her, I was like, I have a feeling Craig's probably still on a supreme high. Uh,
Oh, it's
you probably don't need any additives. Everything is coming up aces right now, right?
well, I mean, I don't know that moment right there. That is what you want on your bucket list.
Yeah.
And I lose faith in things. Everybody loses faith.
Yeah.
Life's a roller coaster, up and down, up and
yeah,
down. I just talked to my daughter Tegan about that midterms. She's worried. I'm like, she's going to she wants to be a chef, like culinary arts. So, how many? All right, this is a question. How many gallons in an acre?
an
No clue.
acre.
In an acre? Trick
Uh,
question. It was a
an
trick
acre.
question. Yeah, it was a trick question. She was
Land.
studying. We were studying all last night, so she's all worried. I asked her that. She's looking at me. It took her a second, and she's like, "Oh, you did it to me again." I'm like, "Yeah, spaghetti." You know,
That's a
just one
valid
of
answer.
those things. Have you ever, I don't know, you guys you study with your children, and they're so concerned about this stuff, and I'm like, just take it easy, just relax. It's going to
Yeah.
be okay. But no.
Were you able to relax having that kind of crew in your presence? Was it just like overwhelming? Were you excited?
Shocked
Obviously,
and
yeah, shocked for sure. But you,
I don't relax, not even when I sleep.
I figured that much. I mean, I've been
I,
around you enough to get it. When when they finally came in and everything was settled, and you realize, hey, this is what they're here for. If you could just, he said 2.3 ounces. Mark Tanner said 2.3 ounces of a
in an
gallon.
acre, gallons
Um,
in an acre.
yeah. If there could be one word to describe your feeling, body, emotion, what was going on, if there could be one word to describe how you were feeling on Thursday or Friday or whatever day they showed up, what would it be?
It's a new word. Three, two, one. Deeds. Du
Dubois.
bois.
There you go.
But you got to say it like that because Dubois has a
Dubois.
million meanings. It's just how you say it, you know.
Yeah.
It was it was flipping stellar. I'm going to put those together as one word. Flipping
Oh yeah.
stellar. You know, you can't even describe it with one word. It was beyond imagination because they really, these are some smart people, folks. You
Yeah.
have to understand. Um, you can talk to Grace about this. Chris had made a comment. Sean came. Chris had told them, watch how Craig and Grace interact. There's a thing. I don't know. Sean mentioned, yeah, they told me about this, that this was going to happen. Where, I'm like, somebody says something, and I instantly go into business mode. At all waking and sleeping hours, I'm in everything mode: music, business, the museum. A thought comes to me when I dream. I instantly wake up and I'm like, boom, that's it. I'm going to do this, that, and this. Then I go back to sleep. And then, or sometimes I'll get up and execute. But it's constant. So these guys were able to, and Grace, they were able to sneak all of this past me. And Grace did almost get caught because I am the microscope. I see everything. We have a calendar that shows our week. It's in red and green. So any of you that want to keep track of this stuff really easily, go get yourself a big giant wall calendar, and each week, day of the week, how much money do you have booked that day? Write it down. What is your bottom line for that day? Once you hit your bottom line, it goes from red to green. If you lose a job, it goes back to red. You got to change it. And then at the end of the week, how much are you making your weekly bottom line? At the end of the month, it's all right there. And then
Smart.
but it's that way. This is so Grace can see, hey, when you're not paying attention, you reschedule a job. Did you fill in that? Did you even need to? Did you put your efforts somewhere, the busy idiot? Did you put your efforts somewhere you really didn't need to in that moment because you had enough for that week? If you didn't have to and you needed to fill another space another week, yeah, you can fill that day, but when you only focus on that, but it's broken down. So with that, with our calendar, the way I schedule, everything is so meticulously done, and I time is valuable to me. So every minute of my day is accounted for, and these guys. She had a couple with the scheduling slip up because the emails and everything. I'm a hawk with that stuff, but they still were able to get it past me. They were still able to recover, retrieve, and move the ball forward to make it
So they
happen.
slip one past the goalie, as they say.
Yeah, but they got one past the goal, and I'm like, man, these are some of the very smart people. All four of them, you put those four together in any kind of business as a management team, with their capabilities. You look at what I don't know. You're around that character of person. It's like golf. When you are able to play up to the better players rather than, you know, you're playing with the guy just got the used golf clubs. He got six used golf clubs at the thrift store, and he's got balls that he pulled out of the water. And he's like, "Man, I'm just whacking these things.
Yeah.
Who do you want to hang out with and play? You know what I mean? You play up to. You want to
Level up. Yeah.
level up, plateau. I'm always teaching Grace plateau. You have to set a goal, plateau. You can. I've got probably, I mean, well over 500 goals in motion. Probably, if I actually count everything out with our house, my personal life, everything.
So,
Awesome.
speaking of that, goals, we're wrapping up 2025. You just finished it up and put a great, well, you didn't finish it up, but the guys and the gang and the girls and everybody voted, and Craig's 2025 Window Cleaner of the Year put a fat fucking bow on it. It looks beautiful, and I bet it looks great around your waist. Besides the IWCA, what are some goals of yours and Grace's for 2026?
That's a great question because you get sidetracked sometimes. That roller coaster. My truck's in the shop right now. It's been there. I mean, my goodness, I may put a new engine in. I don't know. I may have I may be one of those guys. I think as Mark Tanner and I were talking about it. My truck eventually may be a recall issue, but there's not enough that are showing up yet. But so we're going to get my truck back in order and get that into the field. But my truck is down, and that puts me into a unique position that in 2026, I'm going to place a lot more emphasis on getting the bicycle cart system. It is traditional. It is also water fed. It can have two traditional or one traditional and one water fed, two bike system, two-person team. And we're going to be amping up our storefronts. We're going to be switching over. And, I'm a big guy, proponent of exercise. So this is going to be a way for me to actually get out into the field and maybe try to pick up 2 days of consistent full route work and a day of residential that I can do from the bikes in season, even if it's solo. Grace can focus more on she does want to scale, but we're not doing this. We're not scaling to become rich and sell the business or make money, and that's the intent or the goal. The goal is for her to learn how to run a proper business and then scale properly. There is no hurry. It's the tortoise and the hare. There's no hurry for her to hire. We want the right person. We're going to lose more ground if we don't have the right person and the right systems in place. So once she has her number two and she's off and running and they're doing my work, I can then get to that bike system, get some nice footage of that, and really encourage others to get back. And it's not an electric bike. This is going to be a pedal bike with the
Sweet.
Thule, the Thule Kid cargo carts with the
So,
Yeah.
canopies. Yeah,
I
just
have one in the backyard, Craig, and I want to actually, when you start getting yours lined up,
it's
my wife tried to throw it
My
away.
wife.
My wife, she
my
tried to throw
wife.
it away. And I told her, no, 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 no. We're holding on to it because I actually also have the top part of my old Zero system. So basically, all I need to do is get a couple canisters and some filters, lock that bitch in, and figure out a way to tie it down and do something similar.
All
Uh,
that, all I'll tell you is that I've already got the framework. You pull the whole canvas cover, pull that all off. You
Yeah,
won't
and
need
mine doesn't
that.
even have a cover. It just has like
Okay,
it has the sides, so I could
you
actually rest it evenly, nicely, like two pieces down, one on top, and it
Oh,
would be
you're going to use angle iron, and you can make a cage with angle iron across and then over the top. And the spacing is what matters because if you use the Pull-X buckets, um, I spaced mine for the Pull-X bucket to sit down in and cradle in to an angle iron cradle. So so that deeds underneath. You see sideways underneath how those little feet. If you go back the other way and see the side profile, that long ways, but underneath, you see how there's a gap there. So the angle iron, it sits in that catches on either side. It cradles down in, and then
perfect.
you can fasten the bucket down. There's two. I've already got the framework for that done. I'm actually just going to put the like spray plasti dip onto the angle iron and then bolt it back down so it's got that, I don't know, a better look and it's kind of softens the blow. And then the filtration system that is also already designed and that sits in between on the same mount. So you can take the bucket off and put the filtration and the brackets I have for that you have to use a 21-inch RO chamber for that. But I already have that design and I can show that. That'll be something that as we get past the frigid temperatures, um, I'll be in the garage. That's a project to get rolling in 2026. And then another thing that we're doing in 2026, uh, I've been talking to Grace, and I everybody keeps talking about window cleaning safety, and there are so many entities out there that with Gabe at Squeegee U, Kevin Hargis, there are so many people that are focused on that safety. I want to try to. I talked to Grace. She is a ballet teacher. I took ballet, jazz, and tap back in the day when I could. I want to focus more. Yeah, the jazz hands,
That's right.
the jazz hands, and the yeah. There you go.
That's
That's
it.
it. The jazz hands. So what I would like to try to do, like you guys have a nice morning show to get people going, but now I'm sitting there thinking, for the early bird that wants to get the worm, if Grace was to come over here and get here a little bit earlier in the morning, we could start at about 7 a.m. or 7:30 and do a half-hour morning stretch and something along that lines. That
I
is,
may be, I may be okay with that, to be honest. So as I'm aging, you know, as we're aging, as you're aging, as I'm aging, as Deed's,
Stretch.
finally, he's no longer 29. He's no longer 39.
Leads the lane.
I know that stretching is a super important part of how I stay okay. If my
Mhm.
back, I get a bad back. I broke my pelvis when I was in my early 20s. And
You
now,
got to open those hips up,
yeah, I
man.
was just gonna say, and now
Oh, the hits.
when it starts to get cold, I get tight and everything gets uncomfortable. And then you know how it goes. Then you become bitchy
Yeah.
and you get angry with whatever, and it's not really because you're angry, it's because you're hurting. So
You know what? And that's such a key. Sciatic, that the
yeah,
whole sciatic nerve, any kind of inflammation, another one, olive oil, just that's an anti-inflammatory that you cook with that a little bit more, but your stretching is such a key. But we've got the ballet bars in the basement and the different things that we can do. And then if we had folks that took an interest in it, it's nothing we have to get paid to do. And
yeah,
it's nothing that it's something that only benefits Grace and I if we do because we're stretching in that moment,
yeah.
and she's able to direct and correct my posture and show people posture, and she can be doing it on a ballet bar, and I can be doing it on a chair. And
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that you when do you think you'd have time to do this? You have your hands in so many cookie jars and planning so many things. One of the things that you guys just recently did for everyone was you also put together an entertainment guide for our industry, and
yeah,
it basically highlights some of the shows that are on, when they're on, who's doing them, and also the guests that are coming on. So thank you for that. And speaking of guests coming on too, Jessica Battle, she'll be on Friday. She's one of our followers, one of our friends, one of the kick-ass gals that pops in almost every morning. So, when do you think that you and Grace would find time to do another project like that?
it's funny. I wish Grace was here to be able to
She
kind
needs
of
a day
join
off,
in.
Craig. She needs a day
No,
off.
to join in on this answer
Oh
because
yeah.
it's in our how do you say this, our family life is a business that we have to run. You buy a house, that's a business.
Hmm.
The business we're in the business of growing our own vegetables in the garden, herbs and vegetables. I'm in the business of water harvesting, water
Nice.
reclamation, all that type of stuff.
Smart.
I do all the work on the house, and you know, then there's the business of work, our careers, the window cleaning for us, the business of the museum. Without the strength of the foundation, and without, again, going back to window cleaning, anybody that's a solo or you want to start growing, what I feel, this is what I feel, one of the most important things before you start hiring employees and you start trying to figure out how to keep the money flowing. Because I'll tell you, there are times, the business, I mean, if I look up here, the business actually to date, because I keep track of everything to date. Now I have to readjust this because we did take money. I took money, out of the business for me, but the business owes me $80 to date. Now, over 9,000 of that is already accounted for. We adjust our numbers and make our notes. And, then when you break that down and kind of take a look at it, it's reinvesting. Why did I not pay myself? Because I wanted to reinvest in my business. I've invested in myself enough to this
Yeah.
point in life that I've developed the assets to carry the weight on that side. My wife has a job. We work together as a business and balance it. And that gives me the leverage to say, hey, you know what? If I want to, if I stop paying myself right now and I pay my truck off faster instead, well, what makes more sense? That pre-tax dollar, get that truck out of the way, right?
Yep.
If I
Yeah.
don't need the money right now, those that need the money, you don't want to do it that way. But if you can get to that point, but how am I able to do all these things? Because Grace is able to work that well with me, my wife,
My
and
wife.
building the home we're able to work that well together, and everything. I'm such an organized individual, such an or I hyper organized. So everything there's you can most people, like I said, if you took 75% of the useless time spent on devices, you would realize how much more you could get done. Grace is our electrician for our house. We taught her that. Took time away. Years ago, people were like, "Where did he go? He left the internet." Well, we bought a house, and the former owner was paralyzed from here down, so his house was dormant for almost a year. The pipes burst, and we had to clean up, do mold remediation, asbestos removal, all of those things. Certification received, and I'm a homeowner, so I'm allowed to do that stuff. But you go through homeowner certification here in Ohio for those things, and you learn how to do it. But you shift your priorities, and you balance, and you ask for help, and you delegate, and that's how we'll make it. I have. That's not even a dent in the things that are going to happen in 2026. That's not even a dent.
Hey, well, guess what, buddy? We've got even more people popping in. Richie Blue's in the house. Let's see. So Zach V is in the house. I'm not gonna try and fuck up his name. But another guy is in the house that we want to pay some props and respects to. Squeegee Life. You want to tell Squeegee Life anything that you forgot to tell him while they were there or he was there? I tried to tag TJ in the feed. I guess I don't know why I couldn't tag him, but I could tag Squeegee Life. You want to tell TJ anything that you didn't get a chance to let him know while he was there?
Well, TJ, you owe me a day of videotaping. You definitely owe me a day of it. You got me
He
so
didn't do
dang
it. He
excited.
didn't do enough for you, Craig. Shit.
Well, no, you know what? That's like a whole, like I said, it's like a bucket list thing to hang out like that. But when you actually go before that even happened, I have been trying to get with TJ and even Tim years ago, pre-COVID. We had actually set up and we were going to try to get the three of us Ohio guys together and our former Grace and I with the biothane products that we put together. Those are all test products. If anybody congratulations, Deeds. Everybody who got one of
Thank
those,
you.
if a rivet pops, let us know. We'll send you another one. Those are just prototypes that we test, and we're trying different size material. And the end result, when if they go to manufacturing, we'll make sure people get one of those too. But the uh, the excitement that I have had for a long time to be able to shoot some footage with TJ. He wants us to do stuff for the show, which is cool, but just to put our like him on the camera and like here, let's just producing, directing, all the
Craig,
fun.
he just replied, and I know you're not following. He said, "Name the time, and I'll be there." You know that, and I'm just relaying
Yeah.
the message. So I know TJ's a man of his word, so I know you guys will get this shit locked up. It'll be dope, and I think sometimes too. One of the things that I was trying to squeeze out of you earlier when I was asking the question what it was like having those cats at the house, and how important and valuable time is to all of us. Like sometimes the best stuff. when you're spending times like that with your friends and loved ones and your peers and the guys and gals that you appreciate, sometimes the best stuff is the stuff that you don't get on tape. It's the it's that building, it's that friendship, it's that getting into it, it's the um just
I
all that fun stuff that you doesn't
we
necessarily
had
that
it,
doesn't necessarily need to be on tape. It's all that good love. You know what I mean? Like that's
they
what's up.
they videoed, I think, pretty much everything. Now, the Trocadero Lounge does not have adequate lighting for videotaping, really. I mean, it's a true lounge. It is moody.
Yeah, I heard you guys had a hoot up there.
Yeah, but now that's where
That's where the magic happens.
that's when I sing in the song. I got some stories that should never be told. Those are when those on the internet, but when we're all sitting around together, that's
That's
what
the
makes
good.
it so much more magical that we don't have to talk about every moment. You can imagine what happened, but look at society. We have to keep some of that magic alive. That back in the day, the green door. What's behind the green door? When you kept the fetish and the kink inside those closed doors, where it became mystical, magical. What is
I
this
do.
mystery? Nothing is. It's all out in the open anymore. But the yeah, they caught. I think they did a pretty good job because I mean, all I could when the shock wore off, like I said, all I could think of it was like I what I wish I would have thought of was frick doodle. Let's just play some Pac-Man, Dig Dug, and board games, stuff like that. You know, like I did with my friends. I grew up 2 streets over, 4 houses up. My best friend in my childhood, we're talking like that five before you get to high school, middle school. He lived right across the street from where we live right now. So
Cool.
when my 4 friends would come over back then, we'd sit around and have pizza. We'd put on karate TV back in those days. The drunken monkey ninja whatever was on. It was bad, horrible, C-rated karate, and we'd eat pizza and just hang out. You know what I mean? And I do wish so. If they had the time, this was such a short window. If they had the time, and I did offer, but they were driving. If they wanted some Skittles and tequila, now if I would have got one of them inebriated, I would have taken and made a rubber band chain, a long one, and rubber
Yep.
banded them down to a chair.
Sure.
Now that's what I never got to do, stuff like that with them. But that's the kind of vibe, that was the feel. Like I could get drunk with them and then rubber band chain one of them down to a chair. Or,
That's hilarious.
you
So
know,
when I talked to Sean on Friday, he kind of gave me the lowdown on how it went down for them. 10-hour drive there, hang out about 4 hours or something, and then a straight 10-hour drive back.
yeah.
And that's all Chris. Chris is a gangster. He's like, fuck it, I'll just get in the whip and drive. How much dedication and love and support coming from like the guy. What does that tell you about him personally and about the dedication and love that he has just for our entire community?
Just look at how he runs WCR. Just look at the giveaways. It's Chris is one gifty bastard.
He
Yes,
is.
he is.
And I
Love
I
it.
identify with that. It's like Santa Claus all year. You know what I mean? And there's always that it just I don't think I have to say anything for people to realize that about him and the generosity.
And Alex as well. It's a
Alex,
Yeah.
but when you start with Chris coming over to the house, it trickles down from there because they shape their business that way. And when they hire employees, they're hiring people that assimilate into that thought process.
Yeah.
And that vibe is there, and with Grace, I went there to visit. Grace and I went there to visit. We have given everybody their gifts. I don't know, did we bring cake or something? Yeah, we brought like from one of our clients. We cleaned windows, traded for cake or something. I don't know.
let them eat cake.
Yeah, we've done so much, but it's that vibe.
Yeah.
It trickles down, but where does it start? And as we're
It
talking
starts at the
about
top, bro.
where Chris was here, and where you look at how Chris and TJ they made this thing happen, and Sean jumped in and made the drive, and you can't even measure how important something like that is to receive. You can't even measure it. I can't even tell you. There's no way
I was
because it's
trying to squeeze. I was trying to get you to use a word, or I guess the word would be immeasurable then, right? Like
yeah, that's yeah,
how
measurable.
did it make you feel? I can't quantify it, right? I
Well,
mean,
it just like beside myself, outside of myself, like I had an out of body experience and I was looking at myself from outside and like, no, that's not you. That's not you right there. They're not there. It didn't seem real. It was, yeah.
I can kind of correlate or I know what you mean because the first when I went to New York this summer, I walked in the first time and I see Kaylee and I see the World in Christ logo on the rug right below me. I see Frank's thing over here. I see your picture and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is happening." Like I kind of
Yeah.
had to pinch myself and it's like you're in that whole when you're in that sphere, in that world, in that realm, you're like, "Wow, how did this happen?" Especially for you, this is the highest one of the highest things that can happen to a window cleaner in our industry in the largest group form,
Well,
and
hold on a minute. Hold on. I don't, that's a tough one because yeah, I've been chasing a goal. I can't wait to get to 50 years and I've only got I think that next year is the beginning of 45 years.
shit.
Then this year 2025 is according to when my grandfather purchased our family business, we've got 90 years this year. So I got 6 more or 5 more years after this next one till 50 years in the field. And then a 10-year span, I'll have 55-ish years in the field and 100 years. I'll be in the field when our family celebrates 100 years in family business. And
Awesome.
it's a weird thing because I'm like, man, I got to be honest. The the belt is cool and all, but as we've been talking, the time that I got from the three of them, that was the value to me.
Yeah.
The that was the gift. That was the gift.
Dubois.
Well, it's like
Wow.
when you've hit a certain level, or when more than one person, when multiple people believe in you, and when you get some backing, and when that love gets reciprocated back to you, you're on top of the world. And I can't imagine what you're feeling like these last 72, 96, whatever hours it has been. Have you properly celebrated yet? What are your plans to do, like with the belt? You got anything fun on your mind? I know you got a whole year to fuck around. So, what do you think is going to be one of the funnest things that you do with that belt?
Well, the celebration part, kind of a little bit, but it's a weird thing because you bring up some good points. The celebration, I need to watch Santa Claus is coming to town, and I gotta, if you give a little love, you get a little love back. I gotta get into that mood with that festive spirit. Then I gotta watch A Christmas Carol because, it's at the end where mankind should have been. Instead of pursuing money. He should have pursued mankind, you know? And at the end of Scrooge, he turns it around, it's so, I have to reconnect with some of those kind of ideas. And then it'll give that celebration that I have when I kind of bring it back down to earth a little more meaning for me, I guess. I don't know. That's a very meaningful gift, to be honest. That belt, when you take it away from the time that I got, The
Yeah.
belt, that is a very meaningful gift. And I think that there's a big responsibility to it, aside from any of the window cleaner of the year group where you get pummeled, and I've been pummeled. But yeah, um yeah, that's something I hope to be able to contribute against my own pummeling, you know?
Yeah.
Deeds, I know you have some insight or some thoughts on this one too, right? Like the belt, the window cleaner of the year, the title should be displayed, should be shown, should, there.
Worn with pride. Yeah. I mean, you should market. I mean, you should let your customers know I am the window cleaner of the year. Hire me now.
But
Oh
not only
gosh,
that,
yeah.
not
That'll
only that,
be
Deeds, you mentioned before, like, hey, how can we do some fun stuff with this? Like, it should be celebrated big time. And
Yes.
if there's anybody that can pull off some really big celebrating, some really fun, unique ways of doing it, there's nobody
Yeah.
better than Craig that can and will. And I can't wait to see what he comes up with.
Well, that's you know
Heck
what
yeah.
there. It's kind of like that Miss America pageant, all that stuff. You kind of
France.
there has to be some sort of a responsibility, the influence that we can be with that belt. What is it? Why did they give it to me? So, they one of it personality, and the other, I've been in the field cleaning windows, and for as long as I have that, I got to imagine that's you got to be some
It
sort
takes
of
into account. Yeah. You got to be.
but there's got to be more, emphasis. So, like giving more of myself through the next year, like things like a stretching video for those that really want to take part in that, because stretching and then strength training that follows that keeps you safe, keeps you healthy.
Uh-huh.
The different things that I'd like to be able to work on with TJ. I wasn't kidding when I said I want to try to come up with a Galactic Window Cleaner Federation little continuing saga, kind of like Star Trek, but a window cleaner thing to have fun with it. But those, just to be able to influence people to, be a little more uh, out there, and just take a chance, just
Yeah.
I'm glad that
try
you
to,
said that because one
you
of the
know.
things that Mark and I have found to be liberating is to give it a shot. Give stuff a shot. We didn't know what the hell we were doing when we first started this, and to be honest, we still don't really know what we're doing. I mean, Mark and I get together 3 days a week. When we first started shooting, we didn't know how to. At first it was one person on camera, and then when he would stop talking, then I would come up, and then he would
Mhm.
come up, and then it's all a learning thing. But until you put yourself out there, you never really know what you're going to get. So
Yeah.
guys, gals, put yourself out there, do some stuff. Don't worry about what other people think. If you have a goal in mind and you want to achieve it, fucking do it, bro. I just like that's all I can say.
Yep.
Don't let things hold. Making excuses just isn't going to work, and don't hold back because of an excuse you think is there. Now, I was ADHD on Ritalin, forced on Ritalin from age 5 to 18. It was, I would have to say, about a 5-ish year of withdrawal, because at 18, I was off my parents' insurance at those days. So no more
Yeah.
Ritalin, and there was no plan in place. So I went through withdrawal while I was a senior in high school. I barely made it out of high school. I think that they pushed me through. I drowned when I was a kid, spinal meningitis.
Nice.
When you start listing the different things that we all have just pummeling down
Challenges.
on us,
Yeah.
just pounding us, you know what? Just stand up and keep going.
Hell
Just,
Life's
yeah.
a garden. Dig
up,
it, make it grow.
just
Hey,
stand up.
we're gonna have to wrap up soon, but there's a couple things that I really wanted to bring up before I ask you to pardon me, to give your shout outs. As you know, we do shout outs at the end of the show, but a couple things. What do they call it? Housekeeping. One of our watchers, our friends, our buddies, Chuck D is 35 followers away from hitting 500. If you want to follow him on TikTok, on Facebook, a clearer vision is one way to get a hold of him.
And real quick, Chuck D, the belt, that whole thing happened. We were going to try to get an actual video chat, Grace and I, with you. Let's reschedule that for hopefully this week if we can.
There you go. That's for
Nice.
Chuck D. Second, Squeegee Tom Wilson. Two less than what day are we at? We're about 2 months away, less than 2 months away from him departing from New Hampshire and making a trip down to Orlando via RV camper. He's going to be making pit stops. He is had to up the GoFundMe just a hair due to some maintenance issues on the vehicle. So if we can help out Squeegee Tom Wilson, throw your link up in there, Tom. We'll be happy to support the GoFundMe. We'd love to see you there. Yeah, to all of everybody, man, just help. Let's help one another. Let's get each other all better. Let's get each other bigger. Let's lift each other up instead of putting each other down.
Heck yeah.
As I did mention too, we are at the end of like this one, Craig. I know you and I and Mark could talk until tomorrow, but we got to wrap up. Before we get out, who would you like to give shout outs to? Anybody in particular that you want to give some love to?
We'll do a little different kind of shout out.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Can you hear it?
No.
I can't. Yeah.
Let's
It's like it's
see.
too much noise that it
Too
won't
much
register.
noise?
No, I mean we can't hear it, period. It's weird. There we go.
No,
Can you
I
hear
can't
that?
No,
hear.
there's no audio.
No audio on there? Huh. Well, I was going to play. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I
Yeah.
wonder why that wasn't picking up.
Well, if you want to sing a song with
Or
Sans guitar, that's fine too.
Well, hold on. Let's see what we got here. How's the voice sound on
The
that?
voice is good.
perfect. It's just it's not picking up the registering the
It's not
No?
catching the
guitar.
sound waves.
Weird.
I'll make a video for everybody.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Yeah, I'll make a video. Let me turn this back here.
You're good on the sound.
Yeah, I'll make a video for that with the guitar and yeah, actually that song kind of is the shout out to all the window cleaners. But everybody, I'm just shouting out to everybody.
That's why
That's
you're a
it.
Thank
class
you.
act, Craig. That's exactly why you're a class act. Deeds, before I even throw it to you, again, I'm so happy that you're here. I'm glad that you're feeling well. I'm glad that
Better.
Kylie hasn't
Not
hasn't
100% yet.
I know,
Dubois.
but I'm glad that
Wow.
you're well. I'm glad Kylie hasn't kicked you in the ass and said whatever it is that she's gonna say to you.
Oh, she has.
Oh,
It's
okay.
done. But
All
we're
right.
good. We're
But you're
married.
not divorced, so that's all that
No,
matters. So
13
good.
years. We're good.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Give a shout out to everybody. Craig, thank you so much for all you do for our industry. You're the most deserving window cleaner to get that award this year. I'm super proud of you. And thanks to Grace and your wife for helping you build you up to the guy you are today. Thank you everyone for listening. We appreciate everyone's love and support and comments. We'll find whoever farted earlier. I'm sure his last name starts with a K. Jason, I want to thank you for showing up and being here for us. And thanks for everyone. Thanks for all your love and support. I'm slowly getting better, but I'll be better this week.
Yeah, I have to respond with the oh hell yeah, and it wasn't me that tooted. I do think it was the guy whose last name ends with K, but it was funny as hell. Tom, I did say, hey, throw up your GoFundMe page in the thread.
And we'll be getting a hold of Tom too. Grace said he got a hold. We got to catch. I got to catch after that belt. I got to catch up on a
Yeah,
thousand
there's
messages.
all sorts of things we got to do this week. We've got the IWCA coming in next week or next about 60 days. So everyone's going to be on, on point, getting the balls rolling to get all that stuff going.
Get your tickets, get your hotel, get your
Yeah,
airfare.
get your tickets. So, Deets, did you get your flight yet?
I have not, but it's like 179 per way, so I'm gonna lock that in here this week.
Do it. Got my flight, got us the room. We're good to go on that. We still need to get our tickets though, so we're gonna figure out how we're gonna do that. I might just buy them as goo and deeds, and then that way we have a little less expense. We'll talk about that later.
Sure.
Anyways, special shout out to WCR, to Zero, to Chris Lambrinidis, to Sean Hart, to TJ for hand delivering the goods, to the man, the myth, the legend, the WCOTY, the Window Cleaner of the Year 2025. To Grace. Special
Yes.
shout out to Grace because we wouldn't be able to get Craig on without having Grace handle almost the majority of everything. Grace, I want to say also, she's co-champion,
You know what? Yeah,
co-champion. So that's that.
they need I don't know, ladies, we need you to amp up in window cleaning. We need some lady superstars to
Some
rise to the
representation.
top.
Rise
And
to the top. Yeah.
there could one day, there could be a male female category for
I
this.
agree. I agree. So yeah, we just got so many people to be thankful for. I wanted to give a shout out to Michael Draper, who had lunch with me again last week. I'm hoping to see him or talk to him again later this week. Jeff Likes, Gabe Gutierrez, Corey Klimas, all the gang. Jessica Battle, who's going to be on the show on Friday. To all the cleaners who come out and support and hang, we appreciate you guys. Remember, it's less than 60, almost 60 days away. So get your stuff for the IWCA PWNA Elevate conference. Get elevated, get lifted. Deeds, what do you always tell them?
Change your rubbers, everybody.
And I hope your passion bucket is overflowing. And if it's not overflowing after hearing Craig Hendzel, I don't know what's wrong with you. Craig, we love you, sir. Congratulations on the dub. You deserve it. We'll catch up soon. And I can't wait to see you in person in February.
Wait, what did you got? Oh, it froze.
There he goes.
I'll just flip side. That's all I can add to it.
I
See you
always
on
do.
the flip side.
Catch you guys on the flip side. Much love, everybody. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Thanks, guys. Have a great morning.
Take care, Craig. Love you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
See you guys on the flip side. My friends are so distressed, and they got a feeling of emptiness, and I don't think that I can take this anymore. No, no, no. My friends are, they're so disturbed, and they got a feeling, and it's so unheard of, and I don't think that I can take this anymore. No, no, no. Knock down, take a look around. We're all here stuck in the middle, and I want to see you well, my friends. Knock down, take a look around. We're all here stuck in the middle, and let's all stand together, friends, as we go, as we go, as we go into the flow we go, into the flow we go, into the flow we go, into the flow